I wasted about like 15 years of my life by admiring other people. I know it sounds crazy, so stick with me. Remember, I was in my teenage years. I admired these marathon runners and these triathletes. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but NBC in October has this big triathlon in Hawaii. They do a swim and bike and run race. I used to love seeing those guys run and race and pass the finish line. I thought it was awesome. So for several years of my life, I dedicated pretty much my life to running.
Random day today, today's Tuesday, recovery run. We still want to get some miles in, so.
To cycling.
Got in there.
To becoming a swimmer. I realized now that I'm 34 years old is that those things were not my gifts. I admired these people so much. I remember following them in magazines, on blogs, on YouTube, and I always wanted to be a great runner. Always. And I have a friend of mine, and we would go running. We would do this 3-mile run. We had a route by the house, and every time we would go running, I hated it, especially when I would go with him, because I would train every day for months. At this point, I think I had, we were young. I think I had like 2 years of running under my belt, running, and he would have no training, zero, nothing of training under his belt. And when we would run those 3 miles, he would kick my butt. He would beat me every single time, and I hated it. And I never wanted to admit it to myself, but I kind of knew that he was extremely gifted and talented at this sport of running. And I remember for many years, I tried to be a runner. I tried to be a triathlete. And, I was one. But it wasn't my gift. And honestly, I kind of made a mistake. I thought that if I was passionate about it, if I loved it so much, that I can just do it. I could just be the best. Don't mean to burst this bubble. But just because you're passionate about something, only because you love it more than anybody in the world, it does not mean that you could be the best in the world. That took me years of really realizing. And to be honest, it kind of hurt because I love running. I gave it everything. And I remember I would see these kids like my neighbor that wouldn't train as much as me, and they would beat me by miles. Like literally by minutes, they were gone. And I used to tell myself, if these kids work as hard as me, those are the guys that go to the world championships. Once I got older, I started realizing that, wait, I have this all upside down. I am admiring everybody's gifts and talents. And I'm wanting and desiring these talents of theirs, which I do not have and I cannot get. And really the question I wasn't asking myself was, what was I talented in? What was my gift? And, to be honest, not fault of my parents, but, they have this immigrant mindset where you kind of just work hard, don't brag about yourself, keep your head down, be lowly, be humble, and just don't brag and keep working. With that kind of mindset, you tend to not look at your gifts. It's not promoted to look at your gifts and to look at what you're great at. And I really started realizing that a lot of us have this backwards. We keep admiring other people because they're on the media, they're on YouTube, they're great at certain sports, and we see and we're like, we think we want that, and we think we want those gifts and those talents. And the truth is that you have to stop admiring other people for those gifts. It just means that you really got to admire yourself a little more. If you've never done this, you may have to take time to dig into your soul and find out, what am I great at? What am I good at? And you must also have the courage to not only seek it and find it, but also display it and share it with the people around you. You can start this process off by asking yourself a few questions like, who am I? What am I good at? What comes easy to me and is hard for other people? Ask your friends, your closest friends. Ask anybody and everybody, hey, what are my gifts? Do you know what they are? What am I good at? There's a video I watched of Tony Robbins, and he explains that we should all ask ourselves, what is our nature? What is the thing that you are great and good at? There's 2 things I want to start fix here right away. So sometimes the idea of gifts. You may think to yourself, I'm not really gifted at anything. I'm not the best quarterback in the world. I'm not the best runner in the world. I'm not the best piano player in the world. And you think to yourself, well, it's not a gift because I'm not the best in the world of it. There's 2 things we kind of want to handle here. One, don't call it a gift. Call it something else. The word I like to use is, what is your strength? What's the strongest thing you have in you? And you don't necessarily have to be the best in the world, but you to develop it and share it. Like literally the universe, the world, the people around you, your community, your circle of friends benefit from you sharing your gift, your strength. And we may ask ourselves, well, why should I seek and develop these gifts or these talents or these strengths of ours. I mean, who doesn't benefit from you sharing it? Number one, right? Like people around you benefit. I'm vegan, so I eat a plant-based diet. I have a friend who's not vegan, eats T-bones and steaks and everything else. Yet, when she cooks for me and my wife a vegan diet, like a vegan dinner, she cooks the best vegan dinner in the world. Like from what I know, her thing is awesome. She doesn't make money off of this, but I absolutely am I am so grateful that she shares these meals with me and my wife. I have another friend who's extremely analytical, too analytical. And if I have a problem, he'll take it and pretty much put it down on an Excel sheet. He will mind map it. He will look at every exit possible. He will look at all the solutions you have. He will rate what is the most painful solution, which is the least painful. And that's just his gift. That's just his thing. And I'm extremely grateful that he shares that gift with me. I have another friend who's kind of like a social butterfly, and he just talks to everybody in the world. He's like awesome. He's just like the sweetest guy. He gets along with everyone. And I know when I get a phone call from him and I see his phone number ringing my phone, I know I'm going to smile. I get warm inside. I'm like, man, this guy, he's going to be awesome. He's going to encourage me, and he just cares. Like, he's just such a caring guy. I am grateful for him to share that gift of his with me. When you have your gift and you share it with the people around you, their life gets better because of you. So don't hold back. You ever heard of it's better to give than to get? You also get fulfillment from expressing your gifts. Like you yourself feel happier. You feel more fulfilled in your life when you share your gifts. How do you think my friend, after she sees us eat her dinner and our faces are melting, how do you think she feels? She feels awesome. How do you think my friend feels? We see each other in person and I'm like, yo, I really needed those kind words you told me. I was going through a tough time. Thank you for encouraging me. Or when I go through my other friend, I'm like, hey, by the way, your solution, it worked. Like, you're awesome. Thank you. How do you think they feel? They feel awesome for using their own gifts and for sharing it with the people around them, which was me, and I'm fortunate of that. And the third reason for you to be sharing your gifts, your talents, your strength, is that you really show the world and you show yourself that you're important, that you're worthy. Like, literally, you're practicing self-love. You're practicing telling yourself and telling the people around you and the universe, I'm worthy, I'm special, I'm important. And there's something important about that. Emotionally, when you feel that about yourself, that you love yourself, that you accept yourself, doesn't mean you're perfect, but you can accept yourself and say, man, I'm awesome. There's something special about that. And not only is that awesome for you, but when you feel that about yourself, how do you approach life in the world? Things just feel good. So those are 3 really good reasons why you should find your gift, develop it, and express it and share it and show it to the people around you. You feel extremely good about yourself. You feel fulfilled. The people around you love it. They benefit from it. You make their lives better. And you're telling yourself that you love yourself. And you're not just saying it, you're doing it. There's nothing more important than that. Because that gives you that foundation for you to do great things for other people. So yeah, you're worthy. You're unique. You're special. Find your gift. Seek it. It takes work. It may take months, years to find out what is my gift, but it's totally worth it. And whenever you feel like you have something, share it. Share it with the world. See you guys in the next video.